Good afternoon. It's Sunday and around noon, and that means it's time for Empowering You here on WSNC 90.5 FM. I'm Alvin Atkinson, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to our show. Empowering You is WSNC's public affairs program that shines a light on nonprofit organizations, governmental agencies, and corporate community initiatives that help make our community a great place to live, learn, work, and play. Today, we are joined by guests from the Black Philanthropy Initiative at the Winston-Salem Foundation. Please welcome Ms. Shamika Munnings, who is the Director of Strategic Initiatives, and Ms. Brittany Norton, a member of the advisory board of the BPI. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Great. Well, I'm glad we had a little time to practice because I would have called you Shamika something else since the last time, but we got your name changed, so we're good. So welcome back to Empowering You.
Thank you.
And last time you came, it was in August, and there's something special about August. So why is August so special?
Well, August is Black Philanthropy Month, and it is really just a way to raise awareness around the ways that you can get involved in philanthropy in your community. Philanthropy does not have to be intimidating or difficult. I like to say that, you find a passion that you care about, align it with your purpose, and philanthropy comes naturally after that.
Right, and I remember since this is Black Philanthropy Month, August. It's also the month of my birthday. So I know this is one of the initiatives at the Winston-Salem Foundation. And Shamika, please give us a little background about the initiative and its connection with the Winston-Salem Foundation.
Sure. So BPI, as an initiative of the foundation, was started around 2003. So it was initially an opportunity to build deeper engagement with Black residents of Forsyth County, and it has since grown and evolved to be just this amazing group of volunteers who work collectively, investing their time, their talent, their treasure to support and strengthen Black communities here in Forsyth County. And so while we are our initiative of the Winston-Salem Foundation, BPI is 100% Black-led initiative, and volunteers determine just strategies and also investing, funding into the community. They make all of those decisions separately.
Great. Then Brittany, how did you become a volunteer with such a great organization?
I have now been a volunteer for 4 years or so. I begin to lose count. But Winston-Salem is home to me, and I was introduced to BPI through another friend of mine who had volunteered before I did. And I just couldn't help but, care about an organization that was so centered on Black-led change within Forsyth County. So I just jumped aboard on, doing anything that would help my own family and friends and peers who live in Winston-Salem, and I've been involved ever since.
Well, I think you're an example of other volunteers on the BPI board, because it seems that, as Shamika has said, where passion follows, your heart can go, and so it's great. And every time that I think about BPI, a smile comes on my face, because it is Black-led, and those issues that have been sort of naturally known to us get to be addressed by us in a way that is really not the norm. So then tell us, Shamika, then how does BPI carry out its mission?
Sure. So as you say, Alvin, in philanthropy, it's not the norm to see 100% Black-led initiative. And so we carry out our mission in 3 primary ways: through grant making, investing in local organizations here in Forsyth County. We do that through community engagement and research. And then also resource development. Black philanthropy, all of our grants are made through collective giving of community donations. And so our volunteers work to raise dollars so that we can reinvest it back into community.
And you said you've been at this for over 10 years now?
Oh, wow. So we've been established officially since 2003. How many years is that?
21.
Over 21.
Wow.
Over 2 decades now.
Wow, that's
Yes,
remarkable because time is moving so fast.
So
isn't it?
fast.
Wow.
Our first grant was actually in 2007, though,
Okay.
and so it took some years before we made our first grant.
Yeah,
but
that wasn't yesterday.
No, it wasn't yesterday, so it's definitely been some time.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, I know that you kicked off a campaign last year, a 3-year campaign. Can you share with us some information about that? And before you do, let me remind our listeners who they're listening to, and that is Ms. Shamika Munnings, who's the Director of Strategic Initiatives at the Winston-Salem Foundation, who leads the Black Philanthropy Initiative, and Ms. Brittany Norton, a volunteer and member of the advisory committee at BPI. So, help me now understand what is going on with the campaign. Who wants to answer that? Brittany.
So,
We could tag
I was going to say, yes, 2 years ago, we launched 2 years ago, I believe.
2022, yes.
2022, a campaign to raise $3 million and $2 million.
Three would be nice.
Three will be next.
Three would be nice.
So it's coming, y'all. To raise $2 million. And as of this year, we are already at $1.67 million towards that
so
goal.
exciting.
And we
Yes.
have some time to go. And we were thrilled when recently in May, we received a donation for a $200,000 matching gift. So every dollar that goes towards BPI goes towards this campaign. And as Shamika mentioned earlier, those dollars go straight into our grant making process. So your dollars go hard at work easily.
Now, there are areas that you focus on in your grant making. Share with our listeners what those areas are.
Sure. So our grant making, we have 3 different programs. 2 of them focus on building inclusive economies here in Forsyth County and also advancing equity in education. We also have a 3rd grant program called our Impact Grants, which are explicitly for Black-led organizations here locally, smaller budget sizes of $150,000 or less. And it's a quick video proposal. And so you submit a short video application and we make our grants from there. So you just have to be doing great work here locally and for Forsyth County to support local Black communities.
Now, we've talked about grants, and I know there are a lot of nonprofits, a lot of Black organizations who that passion really leads them to creating something, and the whole nonprofit industry is just that space, and it's so difficult for nonprofits to really get dollars to support their work, and you have created a lane for that to happen, and I think you also have created this whole sense of community around what you're doing, and so Brittany, tell us a little bit about what you are really getting from being engaged in this work.
Well, I think you're getting that direct, sense of involvement. It's so easy, especially in day-to-day life, to just get, lost in the shuffle of the busyness. And BPI, because we do support, Black-led organizations that directly impact the Black community, you just get to see it at work. There's not a whole lot of barrier in between the nonprofit and the organization, and we try to make the grant making process as easy as possible. We don't, demand you to prove every single thing. One thing that we've recently launched is a new community-based research report, and a part of that was what we say, taking community at their word and listening to what it is nonprofits need and what residents need, and without trying to, ask all the many questions around it, but just believing your lived experience and using the resources within BPI to help address that. And so community can trust that that's our approach to, dispersing those dollars, and that, they tell us what we need and we deliver as best we can.
Awesome. Well, I think one of the things then we want to give our audience a chance to do is to go to your website and learn about BPI and about your grant making process, and perhaps find out if they can submit an application.
course.
So how can they do that?
Yeah, so to learn more about BPI, to learn about our grant work programs, or how you could potentially engage as a volunteer, you can visit our website at bpiws.org. And if you're also wanting to potentially be part of the matching grant opportunity, matching dollar for dollar, your donation, you can also visit BPI's website to do that as well.
Great. And we're going to put that back out there again, because we definitely want our listeners to be able to go to the website, get information, get engaged and involved with this great work. And I know that you also have something happening in October, a great event. And so we want to tell our audience to get your pens out right now to write this date down. So tell us what's happening in October.
Yes, we're having our annual fundraising celebration this October 22nd. It'll be at 5:30 at the Enterprise Center. And so save the date, mark your calendars, and we would love to see you there.
So you do have an event to bring folks together to celebrate fundraising. And so October 22nd, we got the date, Enterprise Center, we have the place, and the time, 5:30. We got that, audience? Great. Now, the other thing then I want to ask you to comment on is this whole aspect of partnering. And that is, how can individuals really get engaged, and what roles, like what Brittany is doing, are there for individuals to give of their time, in addition to their treasure, and maybe some of their talents? So how ways can individuals do that?
There are a few committee opportunities that volunteers can join with BPI without being on the advisory board. So again, the one that I am most closely involved with is Community Engagement Committee, and that one recently our charge was the new research report that we launched just this past fall. But you could get involved in the grant making committee in terms of, really having a voice in, determining where the dollars go to. You can be involved in resource development for our fundraising, and those where we also seek talent and recruit new members. So there's a lot of different ways to get involved with BPI. I think a beautiful part of our culture is that we've never been a gatekeeping people. Partnership, I really believe, is just, sort of in our DNA within this culture. And so BPI is just a great way to, I think, do what we already do well and just lock arms with those who want to do that with you.
Agreed.
Great. Well, you mentioned this research report that you conducted and completed and is now accessible.
Yes.
How can folks really take a look at what's in there?
Yeah, sure. So the BPI's, this is our second report, and we actually launched it in the form of a microsite. And so you can visit the website. It's bpireport.org to explore all the different material that's in the report.
So here's a deeper question. What's in that report that really struck a chord with you, Shamika? Brittany, it's coming to you. What's in that report that really struck a chord?
I think for me, what struck with me with this report was the process. We went about it a very different way. Traditional research reports tend to be a little bit more extractive, meaning just kind of pulling information from community, not necessarily following up or being transparent. With this report, we really wanted community to be a part of the process, and so we partnered with Action for Equity, a local or Black-led organization here, and Forsyth Futures to help us to do that, to collaborate with residents, to be able to put something into the community where they felt represented their experience, and also was an opportunity to define what Black liberation meant for them and how that could then lead to community change as well. And so I think what struck me was the way that we were able to engage community so that it was their report and not just the foundation's.
Great. Okay, so then same question to you, Brittany.
I think, again, as I highlighted earlier, is that community-based research approach, and that a part of it comes from data that's available that you can extract from different organizations, but a lot of it really is led by storytelling, and as Shamika said, engaging. I think that the community really does see themselves within this report. You'll identify names and voices that you might know already engaged in Winston-Salem. So when you go through it and read it and just interact with it, it's a trustworthy report. We really did center Winston-Salem and Forsyth County and the people who have to make their livelihoods here, and just got their feedback, their experience, their struggles, their triumphs, and reflected that, I think, in a beautiful, honest way that celebrates Black culture here and also identifies real ways to respond to what we still deal with in terms of issues, and invites everyone, both Black people and right, on how to get involved in the work. So it's very thorough.
Yeah, so all listeners, going again to the website and give that again, because looking at this really will help us to really know what folks who are living in this life are saying. And so what's the address again?
That is bpireport.org.
bpireport.org.
Yes.
All right, so now we've been giving grants since around 2007. Now I'd like to know, what were some of the grants that have sort of stood out to you or that you were really proud of for what you were able to do and the impact that you have seen from that grant? You didn't know you'd get that question, did you?
I did. It's okay.
That's okay. But I know you've done some great things, and I just wanted to give our audience a chance to hear about some.
That's actually a great question, Alvin. Thanks for asking. We actually recently hosted a community event where we brought together our BPI volunteers and our grantees to have breakfast, coffee, and just kind of share ideas on collaboration opportunities. And I'm thinking off the top of my head some of the grantees that were there. The Do School was one organization. Yes.
Shout out to Jerry
Shout
Anderson.
out to Jerry Anderson. He was in the room. Hustle Winston-Salem was in the room. We had some others. Dream Team Foundation. There were a few different nonprofits here locally. And if you visit our website, there's a list as well on our grant making section with descriptions of the type of funds that we'll give them. But I think the Do School was very exciting for me just to learn about how they are providing opportunities for residents to learn hands-on experience in the construction trade. They are kind of beautifying the neighborhood of East Winston-Salem, and then they are reselling these homes back on the market, you know?
Absolutely.
And so it was just a beautiful thing to be a part of and to watch them grow and expand since the first grant.
Well, and let me share this. Jerry Anderson, he had sort of a negative view of nonprofits.
No way.
Yes,
well, he's great. He's a great guy.
Yes, he's on board now. On board. And so, Brittany, any in your 4 years sort of have come to make an impact on impressed you?
I think seeing the percentage of, the grantees that then find themselves getting involved with BPI as volunteers, there's such a beautiful synergy. So I think of, the Sherman Academy. She's, also one of our committee members, and Action for Equity has received grants from BPI, and now we've partnered with them in this research. So a part of it, of course, is the, reward of being able to help fund these organizations, but it's also continuing to build that trust, right, between these organizations. Because, BPI is also a part of the foundation, and, there can sometimes be, are they for us? Are they not? Do we need to question it, right? And so it's just this beautiful relationship that is fostered through the grant making that we see just, play out in so many other beautiful ways. So that's, to me, even more impact.
Well, I just am enjoying having this conversation with both of you, Ms. Shamika Munnings and Ms. Brittany Norton for BPI. And I'm thinking, we talked about how you're part of the Winston-Salem Foundation. And there's your director, Ms. Latita.
The president, yes. Latita Smith, yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ms. I guess I better start getting used to calling these ladies presidents. How about that?
That's right.
so practice. Yes, President Smith.
Yes.
And I had a chance to talk to her to give us a little bit about what she has brought into the foundation that you're able to comment on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Well, since my time at the foundation and since Latita has joined on staff, I think we've really just seen great leadership. She's really done a great job of just bringing our team and staff together, trying to recognize what our core mission and core vision is as a foundation, and making sure that all of our staff have a shared understanding of what that is and how our individual work all contributes to this larger mission, so that we all feel like that we are contributing to, this expansion of allowing or inviting everyone to be able to have access and opportunities to be able to thrive here in Forsyth County. And so I think I just really appreciate her leadership in allowing me to grow even into my role, and seeing how she embraces and encourages others to grow into theirs as well. And then just encouraging just this shared understanding of how we all contribute to just a larger change here for our community.
Great. I just wanted to let you talk about her, because I had a chance to be buoyed by her conversation. Oh. So now, Brittany, you said you are a Winston-Salem native. Is that correct?
I am, yes.
So then, why are you still in Winston-Salem? You have a land.
Well, I go back and forth. But, Winston has grown, and I think that I've grown with it. My family is also rooted in Winston-Salem, and so sometimes it's just genuinely hard to leave, legacy that's already been built. And I'm a mom of 2 children now, and I just think that there is so much potential in this city as well. I see so much, people who just want to do right by its residents, and there just seems to be a lot of positive change right now around Winston-Salem that I'm really excited about, and I just don't have a reason to not be here. So
don't leave, because we definitely
yes, please
don't leave, because what you're just describing is this hope, and I remember I used to use the phrase the invisible hope, because it was something that was so embedded in folks in Winston-Salem that regardless of all the circumstances around us, we were still hopeful of something better. And I think that's going to be part of this campaign that Madam President is going to be putting in front of us. So, but well, I think we've come to a point to where we want to give you a chance to leave any closing comments, share again, contact. How do you get information about that? Please.
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you so much again, Alvin. And if you'd like to learn more about BPI, please visit our website if you want to learn about grant opportunities or just how to get involved, www.bpiws.org. And we would also love for you to check out our research report at bpireport.org.
Great. And Brittany, I'm going to let you tell us about this October date. What's happening in October?
October 22nd is the annual fundraiser for BPI. We will be at the Enterprise Center starting at 5:30, and so we invite all of you all to join us.
Great. Well, thank you all for coming and being a part of Empowering You here on WSNC 90.5 FM.
Thank you.
Thank you.